Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Look at what we have today. That's right, it's the Me-163 V2 version. So this is the latest version here. So this is the V2 Luftwaffe version. It has new paint. They've added a tail wheel, has increased internal capacity to allow 4S2200, while at the same time removing the all-metal U-spar that there was in there before. And the dolly now is gravity fed, so it reduced a servo for weight, so it's lighter. But the servo is still optional. You can do it that way if you want to, but it does not come with it to save weight. So this version will be lighter and should fly better. So wingspan 37.4, the prop 6x4. It says there's two included on here. ESC 40 amp pre-installed. Flying weight 29 ounces, 850 grams. So a bunch of cool stuff. You need a 4-channel radio to fly this. Nothing else on the box. I have not opened it up yet, so let's see together what you get. So here's how it comes packaged for those that are interested in that. Some people are. That's why I show this. So your little wings are right on top. Cool camo scheme. Can't go wrong with camo, ever. There's that. There's some foam down in here so you guys can see what's going on. Here we have the landing gear. It's really cool. I did not have a V1, so I'm really excited. I've always kind of wanted one, but I just never sprung for it. Here is your vertical and rudder. This is pretty stiff, so you'll want to free it up. Now it moves pretty easy. You'll see you will have to add the linkage to this. The wings did not have linkages on them either, so same deal, we'll have to add those. Down underneath here we have your quick start guide with your CG, which shows it 85 to 90 millimeters. What I usually do on my planes is I put it right in between the middle of the zone and go from there. You got some stickers for something. In here is a little box. If I can get it open, use my knife. What do we got here? So here's going to be a couple props. Looks like a pitot tube of some sort. Spinner thing, a bunch of scale bits and some other cool stuff. Down here in the back is going to be your wing spar. And right here in the middle is the fuselage. What a cool chunky thing. I've never had one, so I'm pretty stoked for this. Look at that. Little tail wheel there, that's cool. Here's where your landing gear will go in and come out. Very cool. You'll notice it has a pilot in it. It also has an instrument cluster you can't see, but it's got gauges and all that jazz. And there is not much in there, guys. Big cavernous fuselage. Pretty sweet. Alright, let me get everything out of the wrappers and laid out here, and we'll be right back. And then we'll commence with the build. Alright, here's everything you get in the package. The landing gear I shoved up in there. It's a little rough, so I'm going to sand a little bit inside here. It's probably just the paint, because this we want to fall off on its own. It's free until the last little tiny bit, so we'll get that fixed, and then that won't be a problem. Other stuff you get, so you get some linkages and a control horn here. Pretty sure that's for the rudder, because there's one. You get an Allen key for something. Here's the linkages for the ailerons and whatnot. You get a couple scale bits here for putting on the spar. Here's your little spinner prop nut thing, whatever you want to call that. That's going to go on the front here. 2 propellers, some stickers, and then here's what the wings look like out of the package. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rudder and stuff on and the wings, and then we'll hook up the radio. And then we'll do the linkages after that so that the servos are all centered perfectly. Alright guys, so I'm test fitting all the surfaces because you want this to be 90 degrees from your wings when they're glued on. I had to take a screwdriver, and where the aileron servos come through in here, they come through, but it wasn't broke out in the foam, so I took a screwdriver, punched it in from the outside so the slot was there, and that was good. The landing gear, you got to do a lot of sanding to get it to fit, because you want it to just fall out on its own, right? Since there's no servo to push it, or you can put the servo in. So what I ended up doing, because I got tired of sanding, was I cut about this much off of it, about a third of it maybe, a little more, because I kept sanding. I had this round file, I was going up in there and cleaning it up, but I got kind of tired of it, so I finally just cut a bunch off because that seemed like the easiest way to me. So hopefully that's not a mistake. I guess time will tell. But you can see it just falls out. Guess you couldn't see. Put it in there. Well, of course now it doesn't. There it does. Because that's how it's gotta work. Of course, I'm not straight up vertical, but test fit it all different ways. Make sure it falls out on its own. Looks like one way I have not as good than the other. So I'll have to do a little more dinking around. You probably could just simply strip all the red paint off of here because it's not super slick. And I'm sure that's the problem, but I kind of like the red paint on there because, I don't know, it just looks kind of cool. But you could probably take a Sharpie and fix that. Anyway, so the wings. In here, you'll see there's a little groove for the wire to go in. You want that to go into that little channel. Then they're going to go like so. So next step for me, I'm going to pull these off, glue them, stick them back on, and then it's just going to be a receiver and then linkage time. So very, very simple thing to build. So you can see your pitot tube deal goes here, and then that other little doodad goes up on here. Alright, wings are glued on. Little doodad is shoved in the canopy. Pitot tube is on. Vertical is installed and square to everything else. So, next step, we're going to be putting the linkages and stuff on. So I'm going to do that next, and then we'll be right back. Okay, there's the rudder linkage. Now I've got it outside hole to outside hole. That's what the manual showed to me. And then here's the ailerons. You know, outside hole to outside hole, same deal. Then you want some reflex, as they call it. You want some up built into it. Everything is working as planned. So yeah, that was pretty easy. I have not secured my battery yet or put the prop on. That's the only two things left to do here. Links for everything will be down in the description. Here's the little receiver that I'm using, AR400. Sorry, AR410, my bad. But super simple receiver, no antennas. Can't go wrong there. But I have not put these other decals on yet, but I probably will to make it true to scale. So let me finish up a couple more little bits and then we'll be back. Alright guys, everything is set and done. So here's where I put all my gear. You can see the receiver is here. The battery is just a little ways back. What are we, maybe 3/8 of an inch back from the edge of the hole there. And that seems to make it balance in just the right spot. So your balance point goes back from the front of this hole. Here's the line. I took a square and put it on there and ran it out to the ends, and there's approximately where your CG is going to be. I got the throws set. So low is 5mm, high is 10. Same thing for the elevator and ailerons. So this will be 10. That's 10. And then the rudder, I just left it at a bunch. It calls for 10 to 20. So there you go. I just put a bunch of Expo 20% on that. I've got 15% on the ailerons because that's pretty much how I roll. Now I put the spinner on. There's a little tiny screw in the tip. And It had this extra washer on there. I left it off. Everything seems to clear and look good at this point, so I guess we'll see what happens. The landing gear is falling out as it should. And yeah, links to everything will be down below in the description, but there is a completed airplane right there. I can't tell you how excited I am to go and maiden this bad boy. We'll get GB Linden out there and let her rip and see what she's got. But look at that. This is going to be so fun. Alright, if you got one, let me know down in the comments below what you think of it. If you got an older version, because this is the newer version. If you get a newer version, let me know in the comments what you think about it as well. Love to hear from you guys. Always love some feedback. So, like, comment, subscribe. Check out the links down below if you're interested in anything. And next time you see this bad boy, we'll be at the field. So let's do it.